Okay, so is that it? Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. How are you today? It is Sunday, the 30th of May, 2021. It's right on 4:30, and as usual, we're here having a chat about all things tiny homes, Havenwood tiny homes. I'm Shani. This is Rick. Well, welcome to our barn. We're in here today because it's pretty cold outside. What is it? Degrees? We'll do a weather
it's
update.
Cold. Yeah, no, it's real cold. Freezing balls off the biggie table.
Probably single digits, I think, almost. Do you think? Like, are we
I'm
under
thinking.
10? Yeah. So,
100%.
welcome. We've had a pretty, again, always a big week, another big week. We had the Sydney Home Show last weekend, so we couldn't film and see you guys. It was huge. Hello to everybody that saw us at the home show. We have had so many inspections this week from that show. I can't. I've got menopause brain. I don't remember names or anything, but we've met so many wonderful people, and it's been great meeting you and just chatting about your dreams and your plans, and hopefully we might be able to be part of that for you too. We've been moving into our new factory, which is awesome. What else is going on?
The boys have been busy. It's actually close to a week, about 5 to 7 days, actually 7 days. To actually set the factory up, get it ready to go. We've got our scaffold, our hoists, and all the gear, so we're ready.
And I've been moving my things over, so we'll have a full service lifestyle concept store as well there. It's going to be great. Hello, Hugo McNeil. We see you. What else?
So we're going to hit the ground running Monday. We've got some a heap of customs all racked up, ready to go. We're throwing in the equation another demo model as well. So. We've got to get that done and dusted for the Mudgee Field Days.
And Mudgee's in July. That's our next show, out at the Mudgee Field Days in July, the 10th and 11th. So if you're in that area or you're thinking about making a trip to, because we can't go anywhere else, so hey, go and see Central West New South Wales and come and join us at the Mudgee Field Days in July. Well, I thought we'd probably better introduce you because people didn't recognise Rick the last few days because he's had done something to his hair. It's only been, well, I can't even say it's a COVID haircut. It's been 7 years. 7 years since his last haircut.
It's been a while. So we finally.
Why? What was the impetus for your haircut?
Fast haircut, fast life. No.
That doesn't work.
We're supposed to be winding down.
I know. I'm really not sure how all this is happening, but anyway, we've got lots and lots of questions from the show too.
There was just like. Rico, I've got a few rough edges, so I thought I'd just cut a few of those off.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
just to box it up a bit, just cut them off.
Well, he was told someone told him that he looked 20 years younger, so we'll take that.
I'm happy with that.
Well, I've got a funny story. So when we do a show, if I can't be there to actually set up the home and style it, what I do is we set it up prior to going, and then Rick takes photos of how it all looks so that when he gets there, he can recreate what I've done. So we pack it up and then we pack it down and then he sets it all up at the show, which he did. So we did a FaceTime call and he's got the camera and he's chatting to me. He's going, okay, so now I've got this over here. Is this right? And the first thing he had was like an outdoor setting. If you were there, you saw it was on the Tucker's Rest model. Lovely, 2 chairs and a table. And he'd actually taken one of the towels that was supposed to be over near the spa and he'd laid it out like a tablecloth over this table. And I said, look, that's got to change. Anyway, we went right through the thing. And one of the security guys, because he was there really like early, about 5 a.m. before the show started, doing all of this, and the security guy's like, who are you talking to at this time of the morning? He goes, oh, it's all right, I'm just talking to my wife. I've got to do a bit of swooshing on the home before the show opens. And I said, what are you doing, swooshing? He goes, what's that word? When you swoosh it. I said, when you zhuzh it, when you're zhuzhing. So I think maybe tiny home zhuzhing is swooshing these days. I don't know, all the cool kids are calling it that. So, yeah, that was really funny. All right, we'll get into some questions. So the first question we have is, can we make our tiny homes bigger than the standard sizes that we have?
Yeah, okay. Our standard size of, say, the Jolie, the Maverick, and the Dawson is 3 metres wide, 4.6 metres high and 7.2 metres long. And we've had a few clients come in. They just wanted that little bit extra. So what we've done is actually on one of the homes, we've gone 600 mil longer, another, so up to 7.8 metres long. We've got another one that's coming through at 8.2 metres long, and we've got some executive suites going through at 8.4 metres long. So 3 metres wide. Now just remember, these aren't 2.4, they're 3 metres wide.
Okay.
And you may know, in a tiny home, 600 millimetres wider, it's like adding a top story extension
That's
to
your
a
kitchen
standard
cupboard
house.
space again.
Yeah, that's right. Kitchen cupboard, your standard kitchen cupboards are 600 mil wide. So by adding that extra 600 mil, you're just cracking the place right open. So it's just, there's so much space and room. It's, people are really. We actually built the Emerson model.
Yeah.
That was like our crash test dummy. That was really just to, I guess,
To do the standard.
just to do a
what everyone's
standard
doing.
tiny home across Australia. Some of them are longer, but ultimately 4.3 metres high and 2.4 metres wide. So we thought we'll build one of those so clients can actually see the difference between a 2.4 and a 3 metre tiny home.
Yeah.
And to date, everyone's upgraded to the 3 metre.
3 metre. So in saying that, the Emerson model, the display model, that's our only model left for sale. So you can actually jump ahead of the build queue and jump straight on that. So if you're interested in getting a tiny home sooner rather than later, the Emerson model, which is on our website, all our models are there. You head to havenwoodtinyhomes.com or havenwood.com.au. Both websites have all the information on it, and the Emerson is still available for sale. And that was one of the questions, but I've just said that. Okay, next question. The Tucker's Rest B&B, that was the one we unveiled at the home show last weekend. I'd like this as my house. Can you make that a bit bigger?
Yeah, we actually at the show.
What do they mean? The design of it as their house?
Yeah, a couple of clients actually, or potential clients, came through at the home show. Loved the design, loved the layout. Just wanted that little bit of extra space on that because it's only a single level.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So it's only 2.4 wide, and the ceiling heights in there are 2.7, but there is no loft. Okay, we purely designed this for the B&B market, but ultimately there were some elderly people come through that love the design, love the layout, love the simplicity of it all, but just needed that little bit of extra space.
Okay.
So hence, yes, the answer to that question is yes. At the moment, it's 5 metres long.
Yeah.
So a couple extra metres there, or an extra metre or so.
Give you a bit of a lounge room, or
well, just a bit more bigger dining area, and also will allow you to put in, say, a wardrobe beside the bed.
Yeah.
Actually, funny story. I had just a few people came through and they loved the Tucker's Rest. Loved it. It was beautiful. Really overwhelmed at the overall design, and they said, but the only trouble is there's nowhere to put your clothes.
Yes.
And of course, Rico goes, well, hello, this is for a dirty weekend. Who needs clothes?
And so they ran away and never came back. You lost those clients.
Yeah, lost those clients, but hey, I was just saying how it is.
It is. Yeah,
Everyone wants a nude room.
Only you want a nude room. One of our clients said to us, we love watching you guys because Rick just digs holes and Shani has to just getting him out of the holes. So, oh dear, you're a unique individual. Yes.
Broke the mold. Broke the mold.
Next question: do you deliver to Queensland, specifically the Brisbane area, and how would that happen if there was a lockdown? What would you do?
Okay. The answer to that question, of course, we can deliver anywhere in Australia. A couple of things we've done in anticipation of that. We've actually upgraded all the running gear on our tiny homes. Okay, so our tiny homes, they might be rated at 4.5 tonnes. We've actually upped the specs on all our running gear. So springs, shocks, tyres, the whole lot is, including the tow hitch, the whole lot is rated at 6 tonnes. Okay, so that's at our expense because early in the piece, the first home we built was built to the standard, 4.5 tonnes. And I think as initially the delivery man, I was always concerned that everything's maxed out. And like for me, the extra expense that we absorb was
Yeah.
well worth the expense, because so I can comfortably drive on the road.
Well, we talked about this before, even with caravans. You know, people buy a caravan and it's got, you know, what is it, 2.5 ton or 3.5 ton, whatever the tonnage is that they say. But then they pile it up with all their stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
And wonder why it starts to get a bit wobbly on the road, because it's super heavy. And I think if they actually got pulled over in a weighbridge, they'd get done for sure.
Yeah.
So
I think
by
the
allowing a lot
RMS is
more,
actually cracking down on a lot of caravans because they know they're
there's
coming
been a lot
the
of
way.
accidents.
So the caravan itself is built to the max. There's no room to
there's
move.
no room. So we want room to move.
But with our tiny homes, because we've switched over now to aluminium trailers, what that means is we've actually saved approximately 1/2 ton. Okay, so we've knocked off 1/2 ton off the payload. So that means we can actually put in there more furnishings,
more stuff,
more cupboards, more beer.
More zhuzhing. Excellent. Yes, okay. We have built our own tiny home. Can you help us with the solar? Well, we've already had a couple of people ask that question.
So the answer to that is yes. We're actually in our new factory. We're actually setting up the factory, and we have a lot of suppliers coming on board. We're doing all the aftermarket stuff, and for the DIYs, we have all the great products that we're actually introducing or including in our tiny homes. They will be for sale. So for all the DIYs out there, come along and hook us up. Even though you're still going to build your own, but listen, come and see us. We can help you out with.
So all the homework we've done on sourcing supplies for our tiny home, we're actually going to have in our showroom for sale, that you can actually buy them separately from a tiny house. So if you wanted, you might have a tiny house that's got a plumb toilet, but you want a compost toilet, we'll have those for sale. And,
compost toilets, shower cubicles, solar packages, generators.
Yeah, and then probably some of the interior stuff as well. Still working with the suppliers on that. Hopefully we'll have some selections for you as well in that regard. So you can do a little bit of your own thing if you want to.
That's right, yeah. And happy to give also the DIYs advice. I've done that quite a few times now.
Lots
of DIYs that come on, just having a chat. But let me know that you DIY so I don't exhaust myself.
Yes,
But
be upfront with us, because we're doing the same.
Be upfront with us. Let us know that you DIY and want a bit of assistance or a bit of help.
Yeah.
Happy to give that advice.
Yes,
No problem.
We really don't want to do a 2-hour full inspection and then you say you're building a road. Just let us know straight away. It just really does. You know, we're only human, and we've got a family, and we get tired. So Rick's done 5 inspections in the last 2 days, and they take 2.5 hours roughly each. So that's our family time cut into, which is awesome, and we're very grateful and so humbled at the interest. But at the same time, if you're not totally being above board with us, then we put effort into every single person, and we'll do the same with you, but at least we know where you're coming from.
Just so I'm speaking the right language.
Exactly,
you know what I mean?
that's it.
So I'm not talking this and you're thinking this, and we'll just cover a lot of ground in a short period of time.
Truth's always a good thing.
Happy to give heaps of advice, no problem.
Next question. I love your barn doors. Where can I get them?
Barn doors. Well, actually, shout out to Freddie on this one, because Freddie's the main man on our barn door fabrication. We actually make these ourselves. It's all done in-house, and that'll be something else that'll be able to be purchased in our online shop.
So a barn door in a tiny house is actually a little bit smaller than a standard door, so it gets, it's a smaller size.
The standard barn doors that you can buy off the shelf from anyone, they're just too big. They just don't fit in a tiny home, and they're too heavy because they're all solid. So our barn doors are actually made by our head carpenter, Freddie. He actually fabricates these in-house in our shop, so we actually can make them to your size.
That's right. So you don't necessarily have to have a tiny house. If you like these barn doors in our displays, we'll actually have them for sale, so you can put them in your home wherever you are. So that's exciting too.
And they look great. They really do.
Yeah, I sort of wanted to keep them for myself as a secret thing that we just did, but we're not those sort of people. If we've got a good idea, or we see a good idea, we come up, or our team comes up with something, then we want to offer it to everyone else as well. Next question, are your trailers galvanised?
We've actually, just in the recent months, switched over to aluminium trailers. A couple of benefits. Firstly, they'll never rust. They don't need to be painted. A lot of people have got this impression that aluminium is not as strong as steel. In actual fact, if you go on the net and you actually look at the stats and the figures on aluminium versus steel, aluminium is far stronger than actual steel.
Yeah.
Not only that, it doesn't rust, doesn't fatigue, and it's there for a lifetime. So warranty-wise, well, it's a lifetime warranty on the trailers, trailer frames, because they're just not going to rust. And but the benefits as well, obviously, is our payload. In that we on our trailers and tiny house chassis, we're saving about half a tonne. Bear in mind, on our larger homes, we've actually got two chassis. We've got the trailer chassis and then we've got the house chassis. So our overall structural strength of our tiny homes, we've actually got 250 mil of substructure on our tiny homes.
Okay.
Whereas a standard tiny home has just got the 100 millimetre tiny home frame, but we've got the trailer, 150 mil, plus another 100 mil of the tiny home, because our trailers detach from the tiny home. On the larger models, that's if required, they can actually detach.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. How does the spa work with solar? Good question. Okay, for those that are on solar and know solar and have actually used solar without any other normal power, you've actually got to, initially, I guess, experiment. There's a lot of people in the first day, they'll run out of power because they've got everything on, the TV on, they're cooking in the middle of the night with an oven. In short, with solar, what you've got to do, you've got to use the sun when it's out. So by using the sun when it's out, you're actually using the power or the heat, the sunshine from the sun straight into your oven, straight into your washing machine. So during the day, do those elements that are actually going to use a lot of power. Use direct sunlight straight into your washing machine or your oven. So then at night time, obviously, then you're mindful that now you're using your actual stored power, which is your batteries. Okay, and so of course, if you're going to stick an oven on, you're going to drain yourself dry, and you'll be having a very early night or living with candles. That's it.
So yeah, we
thought we'd introduce you to Tucker.
Hey TJ, how you going, boy?
This is Tucker from the Tucker's Rest model. So if you didn't know, all of our tiny homes are named after grandchildren, and this is grandchild number 10. This is Tucker. He turned 1 3 days ago. So yeah, so
Tucker's
hi.
Rest.
Say hi, Tucker. He's a bit cute. All right. See you later. Okay, he's just started walking. So, okay, see you later. All right, next question. My financier will only insure your tiny home if it's registered. Are your trailers registered?
Yeah, all of our trailers are registered. So for our client, we actually transfer the rego. So our trailers, we actually register under Havenwood Tiny Homes, and then once the client has actually paid their final payment, we actually assign the registration papers over to the client. From there, the banks will then actually insure them, because a lot of banks won't insure something for starters, the tiny home caravan, they're removable. So there's no real security for the bank apart from the rego. Okay, so if you're going to get a tiny home, you're doing a DIY or you're just exploring the market right now, just make sure your trailers from the tiny home builder is actually registered, because you might find that you can't actually insure the tiny home. Right. Because it's not insured. So now not only is it mobile, but the banks or the insurance company has no way of tracking it. So you really got to make sure you can get
make sure that insurance gets done.
And not only insured, but make sure, registered, but make sure it is registerable. Okay, so there's tiny homes that may get built for maybe some new players on the market. Make sure your trailer is registered in the first place. That way, you're not sort of guessing, because you might find,
because for them to get it to the client, they might just get a permit once.
Yeah, they might just get a day, a day permit to get there, but then you might get it there, but then you can't insure it, or the bank won't finance it, or something like that, because just make sure you do your homework. Make sure your trailers are registered, and that way you've got the initial registration. If you let it lapse, I mean, you might be going to park it somewhere for 5 years. Don't
that
worry
doesn't
about the
matter.
rego.
Yeah. But you can re-register it once you're ready to
Once
move
you've
on.
got it, I mean, the rego's only $170 a year, so you might as well keep it registered.
Yeah.
Okay, but just make sure it is registrable.
Okay.
In the first place.
So as we're chatting, if you've got any questions, please pop them up on the screen, type them in, and we can get to them as we chat, or leave a question for after, and we can answer it next week or during the week. So we'll keep going. Next question: can I put your tiny home on my vacant residential block?
Okay, most councils' regulations are that if there's no principal place home already on the block of land, you can't actually put a caravan, tiny home, on that block of land because there's no principal place of residence. Okay, so if you're buying a block, you think, oh, I'm just going to buy a vacant block of land, I'm just going to bung a tiny house on it and start living there. Well, you might come unstuck. So.
But there is a New South Wales had a leniency thing that I read for the fire affected areas where they've lost their home, that they're giving them 2 years to be able to live on a caravan, in a caravan on their block, no questions asked, whilst they rebuild. It's not a long-term thing. But you could get a tiny home for 2 years while you're going through the insurance process of rebuilding your home.
But of course, with our tiny homes, because they can actually get approved as the principal place of residence, we've actually gone through this with the client, a vacant block of land. So we've just got our tiny home, which is removable from the trailer. So now it's not a tiny home anymore. It's not a caravan anymore. It's actually a home now. Okay, so
cemented to
there's the principal place of residence, and that's why our homes can get approved as the home. Then you can have a secondary dwelling. So there's another tiny home. And hey, let's bung a caravan on there, another tiny home on the block as well. Rental income. Hey?
Always thinking.
Wow, always thinking. So for 360 grand, you got 2 rental properties on your 1 block of land and you're living there. Wow.
Yeah.
Happy days.
That's exciting. Yes. We just saw in Western Australia, I don't know if anyone grabbed that on ABC, that they've got some tiny homes that the council of that area had built some tiny homes for the homeless. And oh gosh, that'd be so awesome to see that coming in over here.
Yeah, tiny homes. I did just checking out the pictures. It obviously wasn't a tiny home as one.
It was more of a
small home,
small cabin.
Yeah, small cabin sort of thing.
Wasn't on wheels.
Wasn't on wheels, and the council guys, I mean, obviously they did what they did. And,
but I love the idea of them being on wheels, so that, there's lots of disused areas in Sydney and in, urban areas where you just cannot get a house there, but you could easily park a tiny house in areas that nobody else really wants to live in.
Yeah, well, I know at the home show, a lot of my questions were at the show. People have struggled to get granny flats approved because they've got an easement running across their block, or they're in a fire zone, or they didn't want to have builders on site, or they didn't want to have the council hiccups. So this is where I guess the tiny homes come into play. Is that they actually sort of address a lot of those concerns that people have. So you just, because as a lot of people are aware, you can actually New South Wales state legislation says you can have 1 caravan on a residential house block.
With family living in it full time.
And a family member can live in it full time.
No questions asked.
Actually, quite a lot of our clients are actually going to live in the tiny home and rent their principal house out.
Right.
So that's that way. That's 100% legal. According to council, it's legal. And happy days.
Great. Next question. Do you have any displays left for sale? Well, we said that earlier. The Emerson is the only display that's left for sale. So if you want to jump a very ever increasing build queue, like we're a few months out now, you could jump on the Emerson. It's the 2.4 by 7.2 by 4.3 high. It's got a queen size bed upstairs. It's got another loft space with a king single size bed. It's got the full built-in lounge, air conditioning, everything. It's all for sale. And the price for that was 105. That's with everything in it. And normally it's 105 plus the air conditioning. And
we're actually throwing in the built-in lounge, $5,000 worth of $5,000 worth of built-in lounge,
Yep.
plus the
Aircon,
already
1900
included.
for
So
the
there's about
aircon.
$7,000 worth of value there.
Yeah.
Optional extras thrown into that.
Yeah,
Emerson
on a
model.
registered trailer, so it's literally ready to deliver. If you want to jump in now and grab something, this one's perfect. So if you go on the website, look under the Emerson model, you'll see all the pictures of it. It's
And
ready to
with that
go.
one there, the upstairs bedroom for ceiling height is 1.6 metre clear ceiling height.
What's
upstairs.
that in feet? 6.
5 feet something.
I'm old school. It's about just under 6 foot, right? I think.
No, it's a little bit less. It's about 5.5 feet. 5.5 feet.
No, I can stand up there, and I'm 5'7".
Can you stand up there?
Yes, I can
Damn.
stand up.
I know,
I can
Stormy
stand
can.
up.
Yeah.
Well, she's only 4 foot nothing.
Yeah.
That doesn't count. She doesn't count. Okay. Are you going to build any more display homes?
Well, matter of fact, we're actually we've got one.
I've got too many ideas.
Yeah. With our customs going through, which is already programmed, we do have one display model going through. It'll be the Jackson model. So if you want to check that out online, we'll have a look at our plans.
Have we got pictures of that online? We've got the plans and we've. I don't think we've got any photos yet. We've built for. So the Jackson is not a grandchild's name. The Jackson was named by our client who designed his own style off of all the different, it was like a mashup of all the different models that we had, and his name is Jack. And hi Jack, hope everything's going well for you. And he designed this Jackson model, which is unreal, and we really love it. And so we've named it after him. So it will be forever known as the Jackson, and we're now going to build a display of that so a lot of other people can see it. And that will be going out to Mudgee along with the Tucker's Rest.
Tucker's Rest, out to Mudgee.
So if you're looking to buy the Tucker's Rest display after Mudgee, you can grab it. So you could take that home from Mudgee if you wanted to, because you could tow it with the 4-wheel drive. So if you're going out to Mudgee in July and you're ready to grab a B&B model, let us know. We can do a pre-sale and you can take it home from Mudgee. On the 11th of July.
You'll be able to tow it with your normal 4-wheel drive.
Normal 4-wheel drive, on the road.
2.4 tonnes, and that's with the awning and the deck on the side.
Yeah, so I'll even throw in everything I've put in there.
Yep. So
I just said that.
Did you?
I've got to do it now.
Yeah, so this Jackson one, we're going to pimp it up a bit, right? It's going to have all louver windows. It's going to have lots of bells and whistles on it. It's going to look a treat. So we're pretty excited about that one going out to
I have to say, what I'd like to get is, because I love the barn lights, but because we have our decks and awnings fold up and down like this for travel, so we can, on the outside light, we can only have a flat, like a saucer style light. So if anybody knows of a light that I can get that's more barn style, which I love, that could either come off a bit easily for a client or fold down or something, that'd be so cool. But we'll just have to, we might, even if we can find a plug-in one, so you just put a plug there and then you could plug one in and have a, because at the moment we've got an oyster on the outside, which is great. It's great for light.
Practical.
It's practical, but this doesn't look it's not the best. It's not the best, and I want the best. I want the best for us, I want the best for you. So, okay, next question. How many does the Emerson and the Jackson, I can't read your writing. How many does the Emerson and the Jackson sleep?
Okay.
So the Emerson,
the upstairs of the Emerson and the Jackson very similar in the respect that you've got the queen size bed one end, which is a 3 metre by, in the larger models, a 3 metre by 3 metre bedroom upstairs in the main. So that's for the
and standing up 1.6 or whatever high.
6'2" in
now you're going feet. Now you're into the feet. Righto, 6'2". Yeah. What's that in metres? Don't know.
1.85 metres. 1.85 metres. I had a chap the other day come through. He said, Rick, I thought you said I could stand up. He said, stand up here. I said, buddy, take your high heel shoes off.
Oh, no. But he was 6'2", I think.
Yeah. And he had an inch blooming heel on, man. It's like, who wears heels to bed? Come on.
Right. Well, maybe they do. I don't know.
I know the girls might, but I've never seen blokes do it.
Well, we just, who knows? So that's, and then the Jackson. The Jackson's got a bigger loft, though, hasn't it, than the Emerson? It's got a wider... other
Yeah.
side.
Because the Jackson's 3 metres wide.
Yes. So
whereas
what's the? It could sleep a double on the other side, couldn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. On the Jackson, yeah, you could fit a double bed,
Or two singles.
double bed, but you wouldn't have any room for any storage either side. So in the
No.
secondary loft,
Yeah.
probably more a kin single, and then you can put a little bit of
Storage
storage in there
or
as well.
two singles.
No,
Like a bunk. Could you do a
That's
bunk?
only an extended one, though. You got to extend it along a bit. It's got to
Right.
be bigger.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Joel is the one with the bunk bed, so it's your main one too.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Next question. I would like to do a servery outside the kitchen window. Can this be done?
Yeah, well, we've just actually done one for a client. We're actually going to put this also in our demo model, the Jackson demo model.
Yeah. Now there's a caveat to that though, because we've got the fold up deck and
we've got
awning.
a deck and awning side. So,
Yeah.
okay, so what we've actually used, when you do the bifold door, people have the big bifold doors off their lounge room and that just to crack it open.
Yeah.
We've actually done that off our kitchen window. So we've actually put a bifold window over the kitchen window. So when you
Kitchen sink.
when the girls are washing up, I knew that tried to call me now. Anyway, when the girl
Whoever
whoever
is washing up.
whoever is washing up,
Yeah.
you can crack that bifold, push it sideways, and you can actually open that whole opening up with the bifold.
Yeah.
So what we do, because we, if you choose or select the awning roof and the deck on the side, of course, that when that folds up, that folds hard against the tiny home. So we can't actually just put a servery up there permanently.
No.
So what we do with that, we actually do a removable servery. So once we set the deck and the roof up, we bung the servery outside the window. It's just like you can take it on and off sort of thing. But so that way, the fella's going to be outside having a beer while the girls are washing up. Come on, no, what's wrong with you? Like,
that was the last question.
Was that
was the last question. I think that might be it for today. Oh dear. 30. How many years we've been married for? 31.
So you only get 10 years for murder, so.
Yeah,
all right,
31 years. So if I'm not going to change him now, anyway. It's not going to happen. So yeah. So well, that's it for today. If you've got any questions for next week, or for anything that you've heard, or you watch this later on and you have some questions, then either send them through in a message or leave a comment, and we can either get back to them next week or get back to them during the week. Let us know. Let us know if you'd like to come and have a look at everything we're doing in the factory. You can book a tour online. It's on our website. There's actually it says book a tour. You click on there and you can go to the calendar and you can put in when you want to come. Yeah. Tours normally take about an hour and a half, because there's a lot to see. Yeah. As we said,
when the girls set up this book a tour thing, I'm thinking, geez, that's really good, girls. Like, you are so clever. But truth be known, the reason I did it because I kept double booking myself. But it looks really flashed up. It's really good, isn't it?
Thanks. I can't take any credit for it. It's all on the actual website programming. So I just press the button.
But hey, listen, I've got a spell from the shows at the moment. Our next show is not till July out at Mudgee.
Yeah.
So
this week, so we're into a few new builds this week, which is very exciting because we've got the expanded space. We'll be working on a few at once. So tomorrow morning, bright and early, staff meeting. Boys, remember, staff meeting tomorrow morning if you're watching, and we'll see you there. And we are into a fair few of our clients' homes today. Oh, one last question before we go. What is the longest trailer that you can use?
Okay, well, the longest one we've designed and that's been engineered at the moment is 8.4 metres. Now, that's not to say we can't go longer, but at this stage, the client request was only up to 8.4 metres.
Yeah. I suppose that we have to think about where it's going and how it gets in.
The big thing, it's great to build. We can build longer tiny homes, but bear in mind ours are 3 metres wide, okay? Yeah. So if we're only the 2.4 metres wide, we can 9 metres plus, no problem.
Yeah.
But because we're 3 metres wide, what's actually happening is the tiny home's actually cantilevering over the trailer. Okay, so it's wider than the trailer.
Yeah.
So, and because we're going longer than the trailer as well,
Yeah.
so there's lots of engineering that come into
Yeah,
play.
so the ones that, you know, a lot of Australians are watching the American tiny house shows and see the really long ones, massive ones. They've got a totally different, laws for starters, and
Well, the other thing is access. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's all well and good
So
to build
if
a
you're
big
on a
tiny home.
road and you're travelling on a road, no worries.
Yeah, that's
But
right.
if you're going to put it on a farm, you have to get it in there. You've got to go over.
Well, see, we've got
ditches
at the
stuff.
moment we've got a client home we've built, and ultimately we've found properties, but we just can't get it there because it's too big. We're talking windy roads, we're cutting trees down, and all this sort of stuff. Neighbour cutting through fences.
Yeah, so because a lot
stuff.
of the places that these are going to are off grid.
Yeah.
So it actually means that it's actually a bit tricky to get there because they can't build a house there, or we have to consider that.
And like a couple of sites I've looked at today. I mean, the outlet, once you get to the site itself, fantastic views. Like, we're talking $1 million views. And it looks fantastic when you get up there. It's all cleared, looks beautiful, but just getting there. Yeah. Tight roads, tight corners, trees, this, that, whatever. So there's everything comes into play in regards to, sure, we can build big homes, but are they going to get to where you want to put them? So we've got all that stuff sort of comes into play, and for our clients that are a bit far for me to actually check on the access and backyards, we do the videos. What do you call that?
Like a FaceTime call,
FaceTime
or a
call,
Zoom call,
walking through their place, and I've had people ask me, I've got a narrow opening. I said, what? So 2.5 or 1.2? I said, what the?
That will require a crane.
Yeah, that's going to be a crane.
Or taking down some fence or something like that.
Or a neighbour's fence. Or
we can do any of those things, but again, it comes back to that, communication from the beginning, telling us where it's going, being truthful, where is it going to go? Because, we've done deliveries when, easy access, and you get there and it's not easy access. So, we've said, it's free delivery to your front door. And then, of course, being who we are, we're like, well, we'll just make this work. But it's another half a day or a day of actually making things wider, getting out and digging holes, cutting some overhanging little branches, or any of those. That's all extra time and effort. So if we just know these things initially, we can help you to help us, and it makes it keeps that client relationship really smooth. So. At the end of the day, that's what matters. The client relationship's really important to us, and we just want to keep that going so that you speak well of us after the fact once we've delivered your home. So that's it for today. Have a great week. We'll see you next Sunday at 4:30. Bye.
Hooroo.